in terms of what's the goal you guys are trying to do? We'll start with that basically in terms of transition, defense to offense, offense to defense.
Defense to offense, you know, as soon as we win the ball, you want your center backs to spread, and it's interesting because all center mids play it differently. It's a role where you know, it really just depends on the player. You know, a defensive mid will drop in between the center backs and try to make the game, you know, with the ball at their feet. Others like myself who, you know, try to open the game by running and being in good spots, you know, from defense to offense when we have the ball. So it's interesting. You know, others want the ball at their feet and they're very good passers. So it's really interesting from a standpoint of having the ball and tactically, you know, how teams open up. You know, if you're a team like Vancouver who you know, will pack it in and not necessarily have too much possession of the ball, your number 6 and number 8s are defending most of the time. You know, for Columbus, for example, you'll see Will Trapp playing between the 2 center backs, and their number 8 and number 10 play as almost 2 number 10. So it's a really interesting dynamic, and it all just depends on what team, what type of player you are. But it's nonetheless tiring. You have to be physically fit to be able to maintain possession or defend for 90 minutes. So in that sense, it's pretty standard, you know, in terms of fitness. But in terms of being on the ball, you know, you see different players. You know, for example, for myself, I'm a number 8. When Ozzy's playing in between the 2 center backs, you know, I'm just covering just in case we lose the ball, and almost in a good spot just in case I can get the ball. Other times where we feel like we're not making the game or playing the game, I'll be on the left-hand side trying to make the game from a left back spot. So I get out of the center mid spot and I play almost as a left back, trying to make the game and open the game like that.
And you're trying to create space when you go to that's when you slot there?
Yeah, so when I go to the left back, it raises a question for their right mid and their forward,
right,
to either go out and try to press me and open that space for that left back, for the actual left back who pushes up a little bit higher, or they don't, they leave me there and I can get the ball very freely.
Now your growth, it has been the ability, because you talked about this one position where you're sprinting out to create space. Let's say you guys got the ball, Ozzy gets the ball, you're running the space to create that and finally get the ball. But it looks like the growth and the maturity you now have is sometimes you're able to get the ball on defense and bring it up.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I would say, you know, I've gotten a lot more confident in terms of my play and trying to move the ball at a quick tempo. You know, probably my first two and a half years here with the Sounders, I you know, let Ozzy do most of the work on the ball, and now I feel like, you know, especially with Ozzy being gone and you know, some players not being here, you know, I feel really confident in going in between the 2 center backs and trying to receive the ball, look forward as much as possible, and you know, open the game for us. So in that sense, yes, it's not always about making space. You know, sometimes you gotta do your share on the ball, and you know, I feel like I've been doing that a little bit more this year.
All right, let's go on the other half of the field. Okay, so we've got the ball, we're going. Now you're basically, it's not always, but you're at half field. What are you now trying to do, you know what, in terms of your development now? Looking for the pass, or are you taking down the middle? How are you trying to make the defense, you know, shift and move?
Yeah, sometimes I like to make a run in behind the defense, because I know as a defensive midfielder it's very hard to track an opposing midfielder that runs in behind, because you want to pass it on to the center back, but you shouldn't, because they have a guy. So in that sense, sometimes I try to penetrate the line and make a forward run, like I said, in the midfield, so that either Clint or Nico can get the ball into my spot as I'm dragging someone over. But also just being a little bit cleaner in the final third, you know, being able to play the ball forward at one touch and make a run. You know, my job as a center mid is to always be around top of the box, And if I'm playing as a number 6, it's interesting because when we have the ball in the final third, I'm technically defending, so that they can't you know, win the ball and just counterattack.
Get the outlet pass.
Right.
So basically like in basketball.
So I'll be on a guy, they're number 10, so that if the ball comes to them, I'm making that tackle or I'm winning that ball.
Okay, great. In terms of shooting, where would you, where's your preferred play? Not a penalty kick. You know what I'm saying? Where would you prefer to take that shot in the run of play?
Yeah, I would say top of the box, much like the goal I had against Kansas City. You know, unfortunately, I haven't had too many this year, but you know, that's an ideal shot right there with the layoff first time. You know, running at the ball. You know, it doesn't happen too often because teams are very good defensively. But if I can take a shot, that's where I'd want to take it from.
Left, right, doesn't matter?
Right foot preferably, but left, I'm more than happy to take it with my left.
All right.